Want to talk about Simu Liu?
Sure.
Yeah. Well, this is a good one because you have a lot to say on this one, and I knew this was coming when I saw that Shang-Chi did as well as it did, because people were predicting that the movie would flop or not do as well as it and it didn't do as well as it could have done. But so it says, no surprises. Simu Liu mocks critics over news of Shang-Chi sequel. In spite of being one of the worst 5 performing feature films in the entire Marvel Cinematic Universe, surpassed only by The Incredible Hulk, 2008, Captain America, The First Avenger, Eternals, and Black Widow, which was also available on streaming day and date, a sequel to Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings is officially on the way with Destin Daniel Cretton. Is it Cretton? I don't know how to pronounce that name. I apologize.
No, you're good.
Returning to direct and write. Cretton is also in development on an unnamed Marvel series for Disney+. Cretton is signed on as an exclusive multi-year overall deal with Marvel Studios and Hulu's Onyx Collective. The new deal will allow Cretton to develop TV projects for both Marvel Studios and Disney+, and on the Onyx Collective for Hulu and other platforms. Not much is known about Cretton's Marvel series on Disney+, but Variety reports it is a comedy. I love how I didn't know how to pronounce his last name, and of course they listed it like 9 times there.
Yeah.
So I hope I got that right, but if I'm not, I do apologize.
They were looking for you, Brett.
Yeah,
we know this guy named Brett.
The star Simu Liu was predictably pompous about the sequel announcement on his social media, mocking the film's critics, channeling channels like The Quartering, Critical Drinker, Geeks and Gamers, Clownfish TV, Heelverse, Babyface, Nerdrotic, World Class Bullshitters, and RK Outpost. Probably don't mind the notoriety. All channels I love, by the way.
I love them too.
Yep, all channels that I am a fan of.
But I had so much hope for Simu Liu.
So it says, flopped so hard we got a sequel. Oh my God, it is pompous. So it says, Shang-Chi was released on Labor Day weekend, still ranks as the highest-grossing film of the domestic box office with $224.5 million, but will likely be wiped out by Spider-Man's No Way Home.
That shade.
Yep, it definitely feels like shade. The film also made history from the Marvel Cinematic Universe as the first feature film the first Marvel Cinematic Universe film to feature an Asian lead and mostly Asian cast. What does that even mean? What does Asian lead and mostly Asian cast even mean? Like, what does that qualify as on some scale of virtue? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I don't know, because like there are movies that had Asian leads.
Well, they're talking about just from Marvel,
Asian cast,
but it just seems like such a,
it just sounds
pompous thing to talk about. They love that stuff because they feel like it's a pat on the back for themselves.
Well, you said you liked this movie because Awkwafina like helped you get through the movie.
Well, like I said, as far as like a Marvel movie goes, it's extremely middle of the road. But nowadays, with how bad so much of it is, that's almost like a good thing, right? So I thought the action scenes were serviceable. I thought he was fine in the lead. You're giving me a face right now. And I thought Awkwafina's sense of humor, whether you like it or not, worked in the context of this movie. Like, her sense of humor is almost tailor-made for the Marvel Cinematic Universe, for the way they structure their humor.
But she's such a stereotype.
But she's Asian.
But she's a stereotypical Asian woman, and it makes me really upset that she...
What part of... I don't get... What did she do that was stereotypical?
Well, basically, her personality... So, there's a stereotype within the Asian community. It's either you're one of these two Asian girls. You're the quiet one, or you're the loud one.
Okay, I didn't even know that. I didn't know that there was a stereotype like that.
Yeah, it's either you're the quiet one or the loud one.
So she's the loud one.
Yeah, she's the loud one. And people get annoyed by the loud one because like there's no like shutting it off. But they do shut off once in a while, but still. I don't know. Like for me, I just don't like her humor. I don't like it when you do comedy where you're yelling.
Yeah, I mean, I get where that like comes from. Like, it's definitely like it feels lowest common denominator. Like, you're definitely leaning into like a trope.
Yeah,
like, that's fine. But like I said, to me, that's fine because he kind of plays it straight in this movie. He's like Simu Liu's character, like Shang-Chi, plays it very, very like everything's happening to him, right? Like, so when she's acting ridiculous, it's happening to him, which dynamically, as a dynamic, I think works. And like I said, I'm so like, my expectations were so low that it didn't bother me.
Well, like for me, I'm kind of disappointed why he's like mocking people because like legit, like when I saw him on Just Kidding News, like he was very humble.
How long ago was that?
It was a year before this movie came out.
So not that long ago.
Yeah, it was maybe a year. Like a year ago. Okay. And like basically he was talking about how he started his acting career. So he's Canadian born, or no, he's a Canadian citizen. Scratch out Canadian born. I'm not sure 100%. But basically he said he started his career as a actor on, I believe, NCIS, but they hired him as the nerdy Asian character who typed on the computer. But he told him, I can do action scenes. I'm actually like certified martial artist. And like he said he did one scene where like he lifted his leg to reach something so he can show the people who are on like in the cast and like the showrunners like, hey, I can do this. But they didn't want that. They wanted him to play as a nerdy Asian character. And then when he got his role in Kim's Convenience, like he was really happy because like it actually had an all Asian role, and it's talking about something that a lot of people can like relate to. Like I kind of relate to some of it.
Like how? So
basically my grandparents have a local convenience store in Long Beach, California, and I worked it when 18 all the way to 21.
Okay.
And basically like you have like your stereotypical Asian grandparents or parents like who want the best for you, and then like you have like your kid who's a art major and you want them to do the best, and they don't understand why you're doing it. Like his sister,
they don't understand why you chose an art major.
Yeah, so basically the sister of the show, she's an art major but she's a photographer, and her dad loves her artwork and he was displaying it in her store, not her store, his store. Yeah, his store. And then like somebody said, oh, I love that piece, is it for sale? And like for him, like he grew up like basically like we need money, like we got to make a profit. So he's like, yeah, it's for sale. And she's like, how much? And he's like, $20. And like he didn't realize that wasn't for sale, it's for an assignment.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so he sold it, and like when she called him out for it, she was like, dude, I needed that for an assignment. And he was like, you can just make more. And she was like, no, I can't.
Wow.
Yeah, so like I kind of relate to that, but my grandparents never sold it, but they did like ruin it.
But you understood, like you from a place of your own experience, you understood where the something like that struck home with you.
Yeah, and then like for Simu Liu's character, he's the I believe he's like the brother. Yeah, he's the brother, and like for him, like they didn't really encourage him to do much because he was kind of a little slacker.
Okay. Well, he's that in Shang-Chi too in the beginning.
Remember, in the beginning, but like
him and Awkwafina are both slackers in the movie.
But he actually had a job, and in the TV show he didn't do anything.
Okay.
He didn't do anything. He was like the druggy brother.
Oh man.
Yeah. But he tried his best, and he would do anything for his sister, and I thought that was really sweet. And that's why I was like hoping more out of him, because when I saw that interview on Just Kidding News, he was really humble. Like he was talking about when he used to live in Canada, the only thing that he stole was like this tiny kumquat fruit.
I instantly doubt that story. Just me. Like anytime I hear something like that just screams like PR to me.
Well, like that's what he said, because they asked, so one of the,
doesn't that just sound like PR like?
Well, like basically what happened was one of the creators of Just Kidding News, Joe Jitsukawa, he likes to ask like random questions, because if you get to know his personality, he does a lot of random things like that. So he was like, so what have you stolen in your life?
Okay.
So that's why Simu Liu was like, oh, I stole this kumquat because it was like the smallest thing I could find.
Sounds like the most benevolent thing you could think of. Like nobody will get mad at me if I stole food to eat.
Yeah, but then like everybody was like, "What's a kumquat?"
No, that's true too. But there's a contrast here between the way he's acting here, meaning that he's rubbing it in people's faces, or the fact that he's just. It's not new for celebrities to be contentious with.
That's true,
critics.
because he did apologize for like criticizing Nicki Minaj's music.
But that's another celebrity. We're talking about regular people, like regular critics that are not part of the Hollywood establishment.
But they are bigger than us. Think about it.
But that's what I'm saying. So it's weird that he's kind of like punching down, as they say, right? That you're not supposed to ever punch down. So he's taking time out of his busy day to be mad or to mock the people that made videos about his movie, right? Whereas The Rock has made movies that don't do super well. Henry Cavill, not everything Henry Cavill has ever made probably gets great reviews.
The Superman CGI mustache.
Yeah. But did he ever make fun of people for the CGI, or get mad at people because of his CGI mustache that wasn't his fault?
Well, I feel like it's just like old Hollywood etiquette.
Yeah.
Where they have to be nice to the audience because they know, like, if you're nicer to the audience, it builds up like your reputation as an actor, and
you get more leeway.
Yeah, and basically people want to hire you more because these people who like watching you are going to demand more out of you.
Well, plus then the studio doesn't have to worry that you're going to be a liability on Twitter.
Yeah.
Bringing them bad press, and there is such a thing as bad press.
There is.
Like that.
Don't believe Kim Kardashian when she said there's no such thing as bad press. Don't believe in her.
Maybe for a certain type of celebrity that might be true, but not for all celebrities.
That's true.
So I don't know. Like, to me, I would like to see more actors go down the Henry Cavill or the Dwayne Johnson route of how they interact with fans and in the public, and not go down the Simu Liu route and be antagonistic. I get it. When you create something, right?
Yeah.
This is something that I talk about. Obviously, I put out skating video. I've been putting out skating videos for years, and you have to get very comfortable with the notion that people are going to have negative things to say about you, right? So that's just part of it. And you have to be very confident in what you do, and you have to be able to take that criticism. And one of the things that I learned very early on is just never push back, because that's what they want, right?
Yeah.
They want you to engage. The moment you engage with them, they've won.
Yeah.
Okay? No matter, you could give them the biggest roast, you could roast them as bad as you want. In the end, what they wanted to do was get you to take time out of your busy schedule to acknowledge their existence by making it about by saying something negative about you. So I would like to see them take the more old school approach of just let it lie. Just let the people have their opinions. Let these channels that I love and love those videos. And by the way, they're not 100% wrong, because the movie made a bunch of money and got a sequel doesn't mean that it was super financially successful.
That's true.
Okay, so just leave it be. And you think of all the goodwill you build up when you don't acknowledge these things and you just kind of let it roll off you.
I wish he kind of made fun of, like, they chose the best shots of me, even though there's like one bad camera angle of him.
From what I don't.
From all the screen.
Oh yeah, like, they could have at least. I mean, that was not too bad up at the top. That looks like.
I meant the one where his mouth is open.
Yeah, or the one where like they put the fake tears there.
Yeah.
Like I said, those are all channels I love. So it's hard for me, because I really do think that maybe we could be more even-handed in how we critique these things. Because I don't like the outrage. I don't want to make outrage content. Right.
Yeah.
That's not what I want to do.
I'm just waiting for like Sarah Silverman or Seth Rogen to attack us because we said Santa Inc. sucks.
Luckily, I don't think we're important enough to ever get attacked by them.
Watch them come for us.
No, they depends on how bored they are. So, yeah, I don't know. I just think I want to see these people be a little bit more gracious in their wins, not just when they win, but when they lose too. So he got his sequel. Now just be happy about it. You don't need to rub it into people's faces. It's just.
He said he wanted to be a kung fu action star.
Well,
this is kind of what he wanted.
So he's getting it. He's accomplished his goal. Shouldn't that be enough?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It should be enough, but like, I don't know. Like, maybe this might be a whole PR thing. Think about it.
It could be. I mean, I just, like I said, I do think there is such a thing as bad PR. I do. So. I don't know, man. I don't know. Thanks for watching this clip, guys. If you want to see full episodes or follow us on social media, links are in the description below. Bye.
Bye.